So here we go, guys. This is the PowerA Fusion Pad. We'll do a quick unboxing in a little bit, but the first thing I want to do is kind of go over the history of like the Fightpad. There's a lot since like Street Fighter 2 came out and kind of became like all the rage. I know like ASCII made some, Hori made some old school ones for Street Fighter for SNES and Genesis, that era. So the 6-button pad is kind of like this weird mix between a fight stick, because it has a 6-button, you know, fight stick layout. You also have your shoulders on some of these newer ones, but 6-button layout, so you can kind of play fighting games the way that they was designed to on an arcade stick, right? But you had a pad. The ones that, this is my first one that I bought for PlayStation 1 or 2, PS1 or 2. This is the Newbie Tech one. Does anyone remember this? Look, it has a hologram. I have the Akuma one too. It has a hologram of Ryu chucking plasma. Beat up, because I did use this prior to having like a good arcade stick. This is kind of what I used. I never was as good as playing at the arcade. But the one thing too, take note, it has this like floating D-pad, right? And the buttons were kind of like super stiff on this one, and then it did have the bumpers here. But this one was kind of like my first fight pad. This is the god. This is the basis for everything good for pads, right? This is the Japanese. This is the Repro, by the way. I'm not gonna front and say I have the original right now. This is the Repro. This is the Sega Saturn 6-button pad, the Japanese one, very specifically. You got to get the Japanese one. This one was like, everyone thought was the best pad, okay? And obviously this guy tried to mimic it. If you could see the similarities, you know, it has the floating D-pad instead of like a cross. This is the god. I have this guy, which is the Mad Catz. This is the Rev 2, the Street Fighter Cross Tekken one. This is like the smaller version. They had a bigger one, but this guy is literally a clone. They tried to make it a little bit better. A clone of this guy, like the same size almost. Floating D-pad. This D-pad was really interesting. This was like the pad of choice for Snake Eyes. Right, Snake Eyes used this pad, right? And the buttons were really nice to press, but I've seen this pad just explode on people's hands. Like, it has something about how it was built, it would just fucking break. They made a new one for the newer generation. It was complete ass. Like, yeah, this guy was kind of like the one to get during the era. Snake Eyes used it. He even modded it to work on PS4 with an internal mod. My man Gomo did the mod for him. Pretty awesome. And then we got this guy. This is the Rev 2. There was the FC4, Fighting Commander 4. It had a different handle. It was a little bit different. Problem X uses that one, you know, the Fighting Commander 4. But this is the revised Fighting Commander. A lot of people use this. My man Taj, who hung with us at East Coast Throwdown, uses this. Clever Art uses this as well when he plays on pad. This is kind of like the one, this is the go-to at the moment, I would say, right? Again, all took its form from the Saturn pad. I'm trying to see if this is gonna be the replacement, right? And also Razer just came out with that one. Now I don't think I'm gonna buy that because it's a little steep. It's $150 I'm hearing for the Razer one. Maybe I'll get my hands on it. Maybe someone will buy it and I can review it, but we'll see. All right, well, first of all, let's read the box, okay? Pretty straightforward. Wired fight pad. Okay, that's in French. I'm not gonna read that because I don't have a French accent. It includes the pad, 3 swappable magnetic faceplates. That's awesome. 3-meter cable, USB cable. It's braided with snap lock and inline release, and the manual. Some of the specifications as far as the weight. It's 0.39 pounds, 178 grams. I'm sure you guys are interested in that. And then the dimensions I'm not going to read out loud. Compatibility says PlayStation 4 and PC. So we have PC as well. Control every fight. Take command of your favorite fighting games with this premium officially licensed Fusion Fight Pad. Arcade style 6-button layout and toggle switch. Customizations let you play like a pro. So there's a toggle switch on there. We'll check out what that does. Execute flawless moves with floating directional D-pad. Again, floating pad. That's kind of like the thing. Premium quality action buttons and arcade style layout. Toggle switches for directional pad and shoulder buttons. Ideal weight for comfort and extended gaming sessions. Okay. Detachable cable, 3-meter, and USB cable for tournament play, so you can keep it nice and snug. Okay. French, and it's just kind of showing you the features over here. Oh, and check this out. It has a 3.5mm audio input, so you can use the microphone. I'm gonna open this guy up. Nothing really in there. Okay, so let's see. We have the USB cable. Let's take that out first. Ah, they weren't playing with the braided cable. Look at this. There you go. That's some good light on there. Nice heavy-duty braided cable. I mean, it's just a oh, look at this. It has a lock mechanism. Lock mechanism on there. I like that. This is probably the most fanciest micro USB cable I'm ever gonna see. Good stuff, man. You know, top tier cable, guys. Top tier cable. 3 meters is 3 meters, right? 9 foot. It's no joke. No joke. Look at this. Aha! Ha! They kind of did the old school like 360 thing, and that is brilliant because they can, if something happens to your like USB cable, it wears out, they could just ship you this piece. So hopefully that's a nice support option. So nice touch on that, right? I'm pretty sure there's some shielding in here too for magnetic shielding. So that's really nice. Nice touch on the cable, PowerA. Good job on that, I would say. Cable is top tier. What's this? Okay, so we have a nice packaged box. It says Fusion on it, if you can see in the reflection. Okay, very nice packaging for the instruction manual. Literally shows you everything, the whole layout. Aha! The pad itself. It's wedged in here. Hang on. Okay. Very nice, very nice. I'll get to the hand feel in a sec, even though I already feel it. Look at this. This guy comes out. Alright. This is a cover. And I have some face plates. I got a white joint. Okay. Oh my god. I got a black joint. Black's where it's at. What do you guys think? Let me know if you guys had this pad, which one would you choose? Black. Ooh la la. Okay, so little notch right over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a little notch right there. Okay. And you dig your thumb in there. I have no nails. Look, it's naked, guys. It's naked. You could play like this too, I guess. A little awkward because there's a rim here. But you don't want to do that. Magnetic, right? How beautiful is that? That was beautiful. Blue faceplate. Let's look at the back. Ah, okay. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magnets positioned along the panels here. Swappable faceplates. And that's how they stick to the pad on these little holes here, which probably have some metal parts underneath. Let's put the white one on, see how that looks. Yo, that looks kind of fly. Yeah, that looks kind of fly, man. I don't know. Strong contender. Blue one's definitely on. This is bottom tier. This is definitely C tier right now, right? But white joint. White joint's kind of fly, right? Look at that. You got the headphone jack right over here, right? So you got accessorize. Maybe they'll come out with some more colors as well. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the USB cable too while we're at it. Let's see how this clip system works. Okay, so the flat end is this way. I'm gonna hit that guy. Aha! So I don't know if you just saw that. These little guys, they just dig right in. We'll do it really close. See that? The little notches on the sides? They dig right in and connect. I'm yanking the cable, it's not coming out at all. Very flush. Even though there's a little bit of a seam here, it's flush. Like you're not gonna. There's no sharp snags or anything like that, so that's nice to know. But I like the black. I definitely like the black. I think most people will probably. I don't know. It's up to you. I would rock black. It just, to me, it feels good. All right, hand feel. Let's go. So let's see. First thing I want to say, weight feels really nice. Let me grab a DualShock. I would say it's on par. The DualShock's a little bit heavier than a DualShock. Let's do buttons. Button presses. They're like, it's a firm, but it's not heavy. Let's see. They're very similar to the feel of the HoriPad, right? I would say it's a firm press, but it's not a super heavy press, so I don't really think you'll have any issues like activating, right? It feels kind of good. Feels kind of good. They are punchy. They're nice and soft and round. So if you like play like Karen or something like that, well, actually, hang on. So the roundness of them is a nice touch, but they're glossy. Okay, they're a little bit. You can see they're shiny and glossy. Okay, so there's characters like Karen. If you do like a Tenko, a lot of people will graze their thumb, or they'll like do a double snap like this, but a sliding motion. My hand's a little sweaty. I don't know why, right? But my hand's a little sweaty, and it gives a little bit of resistance because of the glossy finish. So I don't know if that relates to you, but I could just see how that can be a little bit of a hindrance if you have, sweaty palms or sweaty thumbs, right? That could definitely be something. But for the most part, the buttons are solid. These buttons, even though they're not really that important, they feel pretty good. Triggers, wow. Triggers, I guess I'll play it in game. This button is reacting very quickly. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you guys, but it definitely has a very, very fast, so I'm talking about R1. R1 activates mega fast. It's like literally a tap. The throw for R2 is a lot more because it's like a traditional trigger. It's definitely like a medium, it's not like this DualShock where you have to like really depress it to get the action. It's like halfway. I want to say it's like a middle ground between like a DualShock and like this guy over here that's really fast. Another thing that I'm feeling, guys, is that unlike like this guy, the HoriPad, right? This is kind of like a smooth texture. This guy has like it's a rougher texture. So there's a lot of grip. There's a ton of grip on the pad, right? It feels pretty good. I don't really see it slipping or like causing anything. It's also like that same texture that it's not slick enough that things will get stuck if it's sweaty. You can still kind of move your hand around. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to do the claw grip. Claw grip feels good too. So D-pad. First thing I want to notice, the first thing when I literally, I said it in my head, but I didn't say it out loud because I knew we were going to go over it later. If you look at the D-pad, you see it's grainy. It has the same texture as the rest of the pad, which is kind of nice. It's not smooth, so if you do have a sweaty thumb on this side, it's like the opposite of what I said about this. It keeps your thumb kind of slick. See that? There's a little bit of a give before it actually actuates. See that? So you have to like, there's a little like, you can feel it, like right there. There's a point where I can feel the switch kind of turning over. Whether or not, yeah, it's gonna remain there. So there's definitely like the point that you need to cross. All right, feels pretty good. I just ran into my first issue. I am playing Street Fighter V. Okay. I'm in training mode, as you can see. There's no touchpad. I cannot reset the game at the moment. I cannot. I have to do this to restart the battle. I think for the price point, like the HoriPad right now, right? The HoriPad, if you guys bought the HoriPad, this is like $40, right? I can kind of forgive it if it didn't have touchpad, which it doesn't. It doesn't have touchpad. I could forgive it because it's like, okay, like I'll give you that. I didn't pay that much, but this is a premium price. It's up there with buying one of these, right? And there's no touchpad on it. So I'm a little sad about that. Even if they didn't have, you know what like Brook does? I don't know if you guys know what Brook does, but they literally make it so that you can hold down like share and like there's like they replaced share and did it with like you could press left or right to be touchpad press. So they could have easily just made a touchpad press button and then with the combination between left and right, up or down or whatever, they could have simulated a touchpad, right? So that's my one beef with it right now. I feel like if it's going to be a major competitive thing, training mode is a very, 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 very important thing to you know, competitive players. Like, you need training mode. I'm sorry. Like, it's something that, and you need to have all the options of training mode. You know what I mean? It's something that you absolutely need. Alright. So I would say, good option, guys. If you guys are looking for a pad, and you have the dough, right? I would say it's a good option. Definitely a good option for you guys. PowerA pad. Official jonyfraze review. One last time, quick recap. Good hand feel. The surface area is really nice. You know, it has this like non-slip surface. I can't say the same for the buttons. The buttons have a very slick. It's slick, like they're shiny and they're smooth. But if you have sweaty hands, they can kind of drag you down on there. So I would say that's one of the cons. I wish they would have made these a little bit more non-sweat. You know, so they'll be slippery no matter what, because your hands are definitely going to get kind of funky. Cable is brilliant, amazing cable, probably the best I've seen from all the pads. I've never really had a removable cable, you know, for a fight pad, you know, specifically a fight pad. Never really had a good removable cable. Audio is nice, you know, I'll test that later, but I'm pretty sure that works as is. You know, audio is nice. The ability to switch between the triggers is a very nice option as well. D-pad is definitely probably the best feature on here. It has the same non-slick surface as this stuff, which is nice. Your thumb really doesn't get stuck on there. You can kind of travel really quick with it. You know, move your thumb back and forth pretty good. I would say that's definitely a plus. Faceplates are a definite plus. It would be cool for other people to make like really cool customs. I don't know, maybe this is a JXK thing that we could possibly do. Some really cool faceplates. I'm gonna go back to black, which I like the best. Right? Biggest flaw, I would say, guys, is the lack of touchpad, L3 and R3, or even the fact, I don't really need the touchpad. Fighting gamers don't actually physically need the touchpad, but they need the functions of the touchpad press, or L3 and R3. So I would say that is its major downfall. I would have easily given up the headphone jack in place of L3. That's my opinion. You know, not that many people honestly use the headphone jack competitively anyway, if this is meant for competitors. So I would say that's the biggest flaw. Alright, guys, so that's my review of the PowerA pad. And let me hear your comments in the chat, or if this is on YouTube later, let me hear some comments later. Alright, there it is. PowerA Fight Stick, PowerA Fusion wireless fight pad. I did it! I won a game on pad, guys. You seen it. You seen it. Fire.